Incoming transmission.
Welcome, watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion. It's the 31st of August. I've got a bit of a classic, but it's a bloody hard game. Check this out. Yes, indeed, it's Whizball on the ZX Spectrum. And look at this gorgeous loading screen. That's absolutely incredible. Just goes to show what the Spectrum was really capable of. And if you have a look at it today, you can see lots of examples of what the Spectrum can actually do. Now here's the lovely title screen with some absolutely amazing music. So I'm just shut up for a second. You see, so let's get stuck in. Okay, so the point of the game is that you control this rather odd-looking chap by the name of Whizball. Now, what you've got to do to start off is you've got to get these power-ups. And what they do is that they give you different abilities. Now, as you can see now, I'm stopped bouncing. So that's two of the abilities I've got. The first one stabilizes you, so you can actually control your left and right bounce. And the second upgrade to that enables you to roll across the screen as you are. Now, all said and done, we're going to get this upgrade as well, which is the cat ball. He basically will be a very, well, he's one of the more important aspects of the game, because you see these colour drops here that I am shooting and collecting with my cat ball. Now, what that does is it fills up those paint pots at the bottom of the screen, as you can see there. Now, what the point is, as you can see, the backgrounds are very well, non-colourful, shall we say. They're very bland, white in fact. And what you do is you've got to go around the land and you've got to try and fill up the relevant paint pots, and that will restore colour to the world. Now, the reason I'm saying all this now is because I know for a fact I'm not going to be able to do this, because this game is rock hard. It's very, very difficult. But it's such a fun little game that you'll find yourself coming back to it over and over again, because you'll want to fill up those colour pots. And you can see, I mean, you can see how backcrap crazy these mobs are. I mean, they're shooting all over the place, very difficult. They're actually firing at you as well, a 1 pixel fire. There you go, you see just how easy it is just to make a slight mistake. And now we're back to this again. Yes, every time you die, you've got to regain your power-ups. Now, easier said than done, as you can see. Sometimes you bounce into the actual upgrade guy, and that's a bit annoying, but never mind. So you can see in this world we need to collect red, green, blue and another red. So we've got 2 reds, and as you collect each one and it's full, you'll go back to the wizard, who will restore that colour to the world, and you will see it in glorious colour when you go back into the world. It's absolutely fantastic. I will try my best, but I'm not promising you anything. As you can see, animation's really nice. This is the 128K version, as you might have known by the music at the start. Sadly, there's no in-game music, but that really doesn't detract from the game too much, thankfully. The sounds are minimal, but again, I think it used up all the memory to actually produce the colour schemes on the planets. So that's kind of, used in a very well situated manner. You can see that I've just got the firepower upgrade, which enables me to shoot faster. You can send Cat Ball in to actually deal with them, but the problem is that he's only got limited hit points, so once he's gone, you've got to then get a new Cat Ball. That can prove a touch frustrating. So it's best to try and keep him just for collecting paint if you can. I mean, he fires as well, so you've got your double fire points. I look at that, 1 pixel off and it still hit me, but never mind. Alright, so we're going to keep going. If I die and go for a game over, I'm going to have another go and see how far we can get, because this game is very good. Don't get me wrong, it's very good. But if you are someone who suffers from from frustration, then probably not the game for you, to be quite honest. But you can see everything is just amazing. You've got your scores up in the top left, high score in the middle, top middle there, and this was by Sensible Software. They did a sequel to this called WizKid on the Amiga, which was a very different game altogether. Fun though. I remember playing that one. I think I had WizKid actually on the Amiga. I'll have to dig that one out and give that one a blast at some point. Now you select your abilities by waggling your joystick, madam, left and right. So once you've got the highlighted one that you want, just swaggle your joystick left and right, and it will select it for you, which is quite nice, because then it's all done via joystick, nothing to do with your keyboard. You can have Kempston Sinclair and define keys, so keyboard as well, which is what I'm using today, just purely for the fact that I find it easier on this game than joystick personally. So what I would do there is my setup for my keys is Q and A for up and down, O and P for left and right, and space for fire. So that's my setup for this playthrough today. Right, you can see the red blobs here. They can still kill you, by the way. Red blobs are still lethal. In fact, any paint blobs that hit you is lethal. You can go down these little planetary craters, by the way, which will bring you out into a different part of the level, which is great. And it comes back via drain pipe. It's very Mario, isn't it? But here we go. Here's the green paintballs that we need for this level. So we're going to try and shoot a few of them, but I've just gone and missed all of them like a complete numpty, but never mind. Yeah, some of the bad guys are relatively simple to deal with, like these are quite slow moving, but the ones that actually shoot around the screen are really quite difficult to get a handle on. Now you send out Catball by holding down the fire button, and then you have direct control over Catball, but while you're doing that you have no control over Whizball at all, apart from just firing in the direction that you are facing at the time. So you've kind of got two jobs to do. One, collect the paint, and watch Whizball so he doesn't get hit, because he is literally a one shot and you're dead type system. So he's not very strong, he's our Whiz, but then look at him, he's a green ball with a face. I mean, what really can you do? You see, I'm trying to play it cautious here and not get hit by these things. And if you've noticed, these things drop the upgrade tokens as well. So if you batter a load of them, then you will see that they will drop them too. So you can see on the right hand panel, that's where all your upgrades are. They all do different things. You've got, I think that's a multi-directional fire that you can see in 2 down from where my highlight is at the moment. When you've got a arrow, that means that you have upgraded fully on that particular one. Now, I've chosen shields for my secondary here. And you can see that you've got multi-directional bomb, which will blow up everything on the screen. And then there's the Karma, which I can't remember what the yin yang does. Nope. I don't think I ever remember using it, to be honest with you. But you can see the paint pots fill up when you collect the drips of paint, which is really nice. This just screams quality, doesn't it? It's just one of those games where the ZX Spectrum, as minimal as it was, could produce some amazing games. And I mean, I think everybody will tell you that Whizball was the best on the C64. I personally never had a C64, so I'm passing judgment purely on the fact that I had Whizball on my humble Specky. So I loved this game back then. I do love it now, but bloody hell, it's hard. As you can see, I mean, there's probably people that will rip through this in a matter of minutes, but for me, I like to take my time because I know how hard this game is. This is probably one of the hardest Spectrum games, but like I said before, it's a game that will keep you coming back, which is, you know, the replay factor is absolutely brilliant. Sensible Software, obviously, they went on to produce Sensible Soccer on the Amiga, and that was another tremendous success. So, you know, these games are very well thought out and designed, but you can see how rock hard they actually are. I mean, this is probably the hardest bit, is actually because you have no real control over where you land until you've got your first bounce upgrade, which again, look at that. I'm not actually sure that hit me there, but never mind. You can see it's nice actually that Whiz is green on the screen, a bit like Pac-Man on Pac-Mania, where he's yellow and the rest of the level is a different shade, so that's quite nice. I like that. I think that's a rather neat little feature. The fact the main character stands out more is good, and the fact they're using a minimal palette to start with is nice as well. There's no visible slowdown, which is, again, that's rather nice as well. It's just a shame really that you've got no sort of bouncy soundtrack to enjoy as you're playing, but you know, at the end of the day, that's not a real big issue for me. Some people it may be, I don't know. Oh, that was just clumsy. That was just clumsy. But yeah, the sound, like I said, minimal, but again, you're probably not going to miss it all that much. You'll be concentrating too much on not getting killed. So there you have it, Whizball. There you go, on the Spectrum. And I would really suggest, if you haven't played this game, give it a go. I mean, we're not talking cauldron difficulty here. We're talking, you know, moderate, and it's, you know, it scales, and it will ease you in. But do expect to die a fair few times on your first few run-throughs. But that's been Whizball on the ZX Spectrum. This has been the Retro Revival show for the 31st of August. I shall see you in September for a Dungeon of Drax. You guys take care of each other, and I will catch you again real soon. Bye for now. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Ta-da for now!